Hi, I'm Dr. Robin Sargent, and I have with me Dr. Nicole and Christy Tucker, and we just wanted to come on and introduce ourselves and tell you about why we started the eLearning Freelancer Bootcamp and what we hope to help you achieve by the end of our bootcamp. And so if you don't know who I am, like I said, I'm Dr. Robin Sargent, and I'm the owner of Idle Courses, which is an e-learning business where we create corporate training. We also have staff augmentation where people can hire e-learning developers and instructional designers to help them scale up their project, whether they're freelancers or corporations. And then I also have an arm of my business that builds digital course products. And then, of course, I am the owner and the founder of the Idle Courses Academy. And so I just wanted to also serve the e-learning freelancers. I've noticed that there was a big need for people to understand the business side of learning and development. And so I reached out to Christy and Nicole, and I was like, you guys know what you're doing in your business, and I think we could come together and really help people who are either getting started in e-learning, freelancing, or those who want to grow and scale their business. And so, Nicole, will you please introduce yourself?
Sure. Well, I'm Nicole Papaioannou. I guess technically I'm also a doctor. I forget that sometimes. I am the owner of Your Instructional Designer. So if you've seen me on social media, that's probably the brand you know best. And I am also the owner of the Upskill Experience, which is our learning arm dedicated to doing 90-minute workshops on things like freelancing, instructional design, and small business performance. And I got involved with this because, one, I love Dr. Robin. I think she is awesome and does great things for the e-learning community. And I think Christy is also a really inspiring, awesome person in the learning industry. So I was really excited to get the chance to work with them. But also just because on a daily basis, because I am connected on a lot of social media to other folks, I get questions about doing things like, how do I price my projects? How do I get into freelancing? How do I talk to clients? And so I really thought it was a great opportunity to be able to help other people and make sure you don't make the same mistakes that I made when I was just getting off the ground. So maybe Christy, you can tell us next.
All right. So I'm Christy Tucker. I am the owner of eLearning, and you are more likely, however, to know me through my blog, which is Experiencing eLearning. And I have been blogging since 2006, which means I have lots and lots of things out there. And I'm on social media quite a bit as well. And I think when Robin had proposed this project, I thought it was a really great thing. One of the things on my blog that's been really popular over the years is the posts about instructional design careers. How do you get into this field? How do you do the freelancing? How do you price things? How do you sell things? And so I think that this is a way to meet that need to answer those questions in a really dedicated, focused way to get specifically down into a lot of those things about freelancing that we all sort of muddled through on our own. Freelancing is inherently sort of this individual exercise, and I like that idea of making it a community where we can help each other through that freelancing. So while I specialize in doing scenario-based learning and doing storytelling in my own business, this is a way to talk about things that are going to work for kind of regardless of what people's specialties are within instructional design and e-learning.
Yeah, that was another thing too, was when I was thinking like, oh my gosh, we serving the freelancers and helping them get started and that whole business aspect, because we are skilled in so many things, right? Like we know how to do videos or write scripts or all these other things, but the part that's difficult is selling yourself. And just like you guys already said, like the pricing and what are the business systems that I need, and how do I do taxes, and how do I grow if I'm just like a independent contractor or something like that. And when I thought about you two, I thought, Well, Christy, you kind of more focus on the scenarios, and so you've kind of like specialized yourself. And then Nicole, I think we've chatted before, and it's like most of your clients come to you like strictly for scripting. Is that right?
Usually it's like at the beginning of the process work. So either they come in and they say, do a needs analysis and then write us the recommendations and the documentation and help us design the curriculum, or they're saying, write all of the scripts for all of our storyboards and our e-learning and videos and stuff, and then we'll hand it over. Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's, you know, we all three have businesses. We're all three in the learning and development industry, but the business, and we do different things, but the business side, I think, is the part that we all can share some expertise in. And so now we've already started listing some of the questions that we get asked. What do you, I mean, like, let's just have a conversation and just talk about like, what are some of the things that you think that people are really gonna get clear on in the boot camp? I know how to price projects is definitely one of them. What are the other things that you guys hear a lot of questions around?
I think managing the client expectations is a big topic. I think there's also a piece that at the beginning, everybody sort of feels like, oh, I have to say yes to every client who potentially comes my way, and figuring out how to get the right clients and not just any clients, and which clients to say no to, or at least how to manage those expectations, but sometimes yes to say no. I think learning how to say no and when to say no is a really important piece of getting past those beginning growing pains as a freelancer.
Oh gosh, yes. Yes.
There's definitely a time when I said yes to too much. That is
Cute.
For sure. And I really liked what you said, Christy, too, about how it's about building a community. So like the Freelancer Bootcamp, yes, we are going to like deep dive into all the business pieces, like systems at scale, how to organize your calendar, how to get started, how to price projects, how to create digital course products or whatever. But really it's about that community is like the big bonus of the boot camp. And so to be able to bring together a group of e-learning freelancers who can network, support each other, and even team up, because that's a way that you can really grow your business, is to be able to team up with others, especially if you need to take on a bigger project, and then you can complete things quicker. And so you'll have a nice supportive network of freelancers to talk to and to team up with, and to maybe share clients with. And I think that's kind of the big added bonus of the boot camp.
I definitely agree. I think having that community is so important. And part of the saying no or saying yes to clients is being able to meet their needs. So again, I can do an e-learning development, but like it's not the thing I love to do. But you know, Robin, maybe her folks, that's like what they love to do, and we team up now because we know each other and we can take on a bigger project or a different project because of that. So I think that's a really cool thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think there's a lot of work that I think freelancers who have a network do end up sharing a lot of work or referring work, even if it's not actually a project where you officially do it together. Personally, I don't really like software training. Like that's not my thing. So I'll always pass it on, but I've got a couple of people who I know who really like doing software training. You know, Camtasia screencast videos are their thing. So I'm always going to kind of pass those along to those folks. And so I think knowing what skills people have and having a group of people, because there is a lot of that referring things. Everybody gets too busy sometimes. Mm-hmm. And so you have to have a plan for what you're going to do for overflow work. You know, bringing somebody in as a subcontractor or referring it or whatever. And so I think all of that is also an important part of growing your business.
Yeah.
And clients are always happy when you can refer somebody really good for a job. Like it makes you look good too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. And I've seen a lot of people, we did a survey for our wait list, and I saw one of the major concerns that I saw was am I going to be able to support myself through freelancing? And I think all 3 of our answers would be yes.
Yes.
But Christy, you've written about this, about how being a freelancer could actually mean more job security. Will you just talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. So this was one of the big conversations I had with my husband, frankly, when I made the leap from being a full-time employee. And this idea actually comes from Michelle Martin of the Bamboo Project blog from years and years ago. So if you look at your 401k or your IRA or whatever your retirement is in, it would be, you would never invest all of your retirement money into the stocks of a single company. That would be ridiculously risky. You would never tie everything in your retirement income to a single company because we know that's too risky. And yet, if you are a full-time employee of a single company, 100% of your income is tied to that one company. And if something goes wrong, if you lose that job, if they have problems, if whatever happens, you are out 100% of your income. But if you're freelancing and consulting, I tend to have 2 or 3 different projects going on at any given time and a couple of more on the pipeline. If I lose a project that is, maybe it's up to 50% of my income for right then, which hurts, but not nearly as much as losing 100% of my income. And so, and I know I've got a network of other freelancers and consultants I could go to, and I could get more work. If all of my projects fell through tomorrow, I could go to that network and I know that I could go find work and I would have stuff within the next 2 weeks. And I've got a system for how I would go and do that. And both having multiple clients potentially in multiple industries reduces your risk and makes it so you are more secure as a freelancer than you might be as a full-time employee.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
And so if we're going to talk about who are our students, who are the people that we think that we can help the most? And I have some ideas, which is both people that are starting their business and those who want to grow their business. Because whenever you're starting, I think that they're going to benefit from, if you're just starting out as a freelancer, I think you're going to immensely benefit from having all the systems, all the structures, and all the training in place so that you can go and refer to things as you start to get things set up for your business, and you don't have to go through all the guesswork that I know all 3 of us did, or like go and find advice from people outside your industry, although that can inform what you do. But it's hard to get that information for things like pricing and project scope and all that kind of stuff. And then also the other person is those who want to grow their business. And I know I hear from freelancers who feel like they're charging too little, or they don't know how to grow, or they don't know how to essentially give themselves a raise. And I think that this boot camp's for them. And do you guys want to talk about who our students are?
Yeah, I think so. I think it was really important. You said it somewhere in our messaging, but just that if you want to just learn how to be an instructional designer, just remember that that's kind of not what we're teaching here. And so that's a good thing to know. But there is a space for, I think, people who are just starting out in the industry and are going freelance, and also people who are really experienced. I mean, I think that people who are coming in with a year of experience and think it's time to go out on their own, or maybe they're coming out of teaching and they want to get into instructional design by doing some side gigs first so they can build up their resume. I think those people are all welcome and valued in this course, or boot camp, I should say.
Yeah. And I think that even if you've been freelancing for a little while, but if you find yourself spending lots of time kind of fumbling, or if you have no idea what to do if all of your projects dry up, or you have no idea, you don't have much of a system for how you're finding clients, you're just relying on luck, or you don't have a good system for screening the clients to figure out if they're a good fit, or you really need a better network for dealing with overflow. I think all of those things, because we're going to address a lot of those challenges, even if you've been freelancing for a couple of years, you're still probably going to find things that where you can improve your processes and make your business stronger, because and in some respects then, because you've done a few of those things and you've learned some of those lessons yourself, that you'll be in a position to apply it right away.
Yeah. So we just wanted to come on and introduce you to who we are, what our boot camp is all about, and we want to personally invite you to join us in the eLearning Freelancer Bootcamp. You can enroll now, but enrollment ends April 10th. Class starts live April 15th, and it'll be one full training every week with all the swipe files, all the worksheets, all the templates, us coming on, giving you a full training, answering your questions, a private members only Facebook group where you connect with your other e-learning freelancers to make connections and ask more questions. And we also have some extra coach mentors in our Facebook group to help you in there as well to answer more questions. And so we hope that you'll join us, and we hope to see you inside.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.